Hey guys, welcome back. We just starting a new project today. We're gonna make the movie application that I kind of like hinted to in my previous videos. So here I have an Xcode project. I just opened it. I'm gonna create a new project with a single application. I'm gonna call it Movies. This is a storyboard based project. We're not using Swift UI. Remember to make sure that you're selecting storyboard and the Swift is the language selected. Leave everything as it is underneath here. Mines are all unchecked. If not yours, then you uncheck these boxes. Click next and create the project. Now we have our barebone project created. I'll just do some housekeeping. So I'm gonna get rid of the iPad, this and that, leave it as a portrait mode. Basically, this is the video where we're just setting up this project. We're going to start coding in the next video, and I'll show you a couple things that we want to use on this particular project. We're going to use third-party libraries, and these are the two libraries we're going to use. One of them is Alamo Fire. This is a networking library, which is a very elegant, as it says here, elegant networking in Swift, written in Swift. Very easy to use, very easy to configure. So you go to the Git repository, Alamo Fire, go to installation, and we need this CocoaPod. We're going to use it as a CocoaPod library. If you don't have CocoaPod installed on your Mac, follow this link, type this in your terminal, enter your password, and you're good to go. Once you have that done, what are you going to need is, so I'm going to close this here. So this is my project right now, right? So this is before, and then I'll show you after. You'll see as I work. I'm going to keep this open side by side to see what happens. Keep an eye right here. So I'm going to go here. So I already have CocoaPod installed. So what you guys need is you need to install CocoaPod. So this is my folder right here. Okay, movies. I'm going to say pod init, right? Once you have CocoaPod installed, you have to enter this command on the root of your project, pod init, okay? And it's already installed a pod file right here. See this? Added a pod file. So I'm going to open this pod file. Now this is what a pod files look like. Anything you want to add into this project to use going forward. So something like this, pod, it will be the name of the pod and the version. This is the version 5.0.0, release candidate number 3. So we're going to take that, plug it in here. The next one is this one right here. It's called Kingfisher. This is the same library that uses network fetch request to download images from a URL, and it caches it for you. Very unique, very easy to use. I like it. There's several of them out there. I just kind of like this one. Very easy to use. Kingfisher version 5.0. That's the pod I added. I'm going to save this file. And now let's go back to my folder. This is the folder. Keep an eye here. So I'm going to say pod install. After I added these two pods in my pod file, anything that's in the pod file, the pod is going to run the command called install. It's going to look into the file and say, okay, these are the two repositories or libraries that I don't have installed. Let me just run the command to install this. Anything I want to install in my project. So my target is my movie project, and these are the pods that or frameworks that I'm using. I'm going to hit install. Let's watch what happens. The installation complete. As you can see, as it was installing, it created a folder called pods, podfile.log. Okay, this keeps the version and everything of your files and your frameworks. Plus, it created a project file, which is movies.xc workspace. If you look here, it says movies.xcode project. That's the originally, these are the only two files that Xcode created for us when we initially created our project. Now these four, this and this one, is created by CocoaPods. Now, going forward, once you have CocoaPod installed, once you are at this stage, then you always use this movie XC workspace to open your project. Never again use this one. Okay, we're not going to use this. So I'm just closing this. I'm going to open with this right here. Okay, so always use XC project going forward. All right, so this is just a basic project. This is the pods, that's the pod file right here. And this is our project. I'm gonna option click, so it's gonna open all the folders and the subfolders. So this is basic bare bone project. You know, this is your UIV controller, launch screen, and our storyboard. So I'm gonna add a label here just to cement what we did here. I'm just gonna say hello, not jello, hello world. All right, so I'm gonna put this here and run on iPhone 11 simulator and see what happens. So we basically have a basic project set up with both the Cocoa pods that we need for this project, and we will start coding in our next video where we're going to use the movie data API. So there you go. That's our Hello World project up and running. So I'm going to stop this and show you this where we're going to get the data. So this is the place where we're going to get all our data, the movie database. Go ahead and sign up, get a free API. Right, so once you have your API key, it's very important. So you're going to need your API key to connect to the backend to fetch the movies, right? And then I will walk you through how we're going to do that. So we're going to spend a lot of time in this screen right here, because this is all the endpoints that they have that you can use. So for instance, if I want movies that are currently in theater, I can say now playing, try it out. So I can enter my API key right here, and then it's going to fetch the current movies request. So, you know, right now it says invalid API key or missing because we don't have one right here, right? And this is the basic URL to fetch that, and then the API key would plug in here. But that's about it on this video. We're gonna start everything in the next video, how to build. So I just want you guys to have this set up, and when I start releasing the videos after this one, it will be very fast, and you're gonna have to keep up with that. So get your project set up, and then we'll start coding in the next video, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe and let me know in the comment section if you need any help. Thank you.